everybody, welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of Dear Zander Mander. I'm glad to be back. It's good to see you out there. I've got a lot of things planned for this first episode. Let's get to it. Lots of surprises. Hello! Before we dive into 2014, let's take a look back at 2013 and some of the highlights and lowlights of that year, okay? One of the things that I love the most about the end of the year is all the end of year best of this, like best movies, best albums, best songs, best. I love all that. So I'm going to do some of that. I'm also going to do some of the worst of. Hello. You gotta have that too. I also have planned, of course, some of my stupid jokes, some trivia. Rosemary's back with some new questions, and gonna dive into 2014 with a look ahead. Let's get to that best of stuff, shall we? The best album of the year is Britney Spears. You know I'm fucking kidding you, don't you? Ain't no way Zander Mander would ever pick Zander. My favorite album of the year was Alison Moyet's Minutes. And not just because it's an autographed copy of it either. It's a great album. It's the best album she's done in years. And if you don't know who Alison Moyet is, Wikipedia, Google it, look her up. You will love her. I promise you that. And I also promise you, you already know a lot of her songs. You just don't realize it's her. If you go to any freaking club anywhere in the world, you've heard her songs before. Guarantee it. Let's stay on music, shall we? Okay, if you insist. My favorite single of the year is Queen by Excel.
I want everybody gone, wanna have you all alone on the dance floor, on the dance floor. Gonna show you where I rule, you know that you belong on the dance floor, on the dance floor. Close your eyes and feel the heat, sink your heart up to the beat. I'll be all you'll ever need on the dance floor. I want everybody gone, wanna have you all alone on the dance floor, on the dance floor.
Is great. Not only does it get my vote for best single of the year, but it gets my vote for best video of the year as well. I love it. It was great. Although, I do have to give them major kudos for their hologram interactive video. That was a work of art. Fabulous, fabulous stuff. Now let's see. Favorite movie of the year? Well, I have to be honest. I only saw one movie in a theater this entire year. Believe it or not, sorry, been a little busy. But the one movie that I did see was Oz the Great and Powerful. And I have to say, on the big screen, I was not a fan of this movie. It just looked so fake. Everything looked so fake up there. But since it's come to on demand and to my cable channels, I've watched this film 100 times. Because once it's smaller and condensed, you don't see all the fakery. Everything fits together better. And it's actually a really good film. And I got to give cheers to Mila Kunis for playing the Wicked Witch of the West. She did a really good job. I mean, they're saying Dorothy would be the biggest shoes to fill because of Judy Garland. But to fill Margaret Hamilton's shoes as the Wicked Witch of the West, got to give her kudos. Let's see now. What's next on our list? Best play or musical. Well, once again, I didn't get to have too much personal fun this year, but the only one that I did see was Wicked again. Here we go back to the Wicked Witch of the West. It came back into Chicago, and some friends of mine and I went to go see it. I love the musical Wicked. However, this particular production seemed a little lackluster. Seemed like they weren't really into it, and that the production wasn't as high a value as it was when I originally saw it. So, I mean, it was still great, don't get me wrong. They were really, really good, but it just wasn't as good as it was a few years ago. And if you're out there listening to me, come on, sprinkle some of that magic dust and get yourself together, okay? Now, there was a lot of news this year, and some of it was great and some of it wasn't so good. Let's get to, do you want to do the bad first or do you want to do the good first? Let's do the bad news first, so then we can get to the good stuff, okay? The bad news, and I think the worst news that I heard all year, was that the legendary singer Linda Ronstadt will not be able to sing anymore due to Parkinson's disease. She is unable to sing, and it's an absolute shame. She's one of the greatest vocalists of all time. I know you all know who she is out there. She was just nominated, finally, for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which she should have been inducted into many, 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 many years ago. And you all know who the Eagles are. They were Linda Ronstadt's backup band. Hello! Don't you think she should have been inducted first? I do. But anyways, that was really tragic news to hear this year, that Linda will no longer be able to sing. Such a shame. The voice of an angel that we'll no longer be able to hear, except for through her recordings that she's already put out all these years. Love her, love her, love her. Staying on the worst side, let's go to television, shall we? I think the worst television show that debuted this year was Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. It was awful! I mean, I'm a big fan of Once Upon a Time, the show. It's been on for 3 years now, and I love it. But they tried to spread themselves way too thin by doing Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. I mean, the sets were horrid. All it was just a forest with some big old mushrooms planted here and there. It just didn't work. But fortunately, Once Upon a Time is continuing, and I've heard that, well, I've seen that this year, oh, here we come back to the Wicked Witch of the West again. They're going wicked on Once Upon a Time, and I, for one, can't wait. That's something to look forward to in 2014, which we're going to have more of that coming up soon. Stick around. Now, the best part of 2013, for me, personally, and you know it's coming, because if you've watched any of my shows, you know how I feel. Long overdue, Ann Wilson, Nancy Wilson, Roger Fisher, Steve Fossen, Michael DeRosier, and the one and only Howard Leese, the band Heart, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah! Long overdue. It's finally time that they were inducted. Another great part of 2013 for me was to see my dear friend Pete inducted into the Chicago Gay and Lesbian Hall of Fame. It is so well deserved. Not only is she a face of the community, but she is one of the heroes of our four-legged friends throughout the city and more. Cheers to her. And cheers to her beloved Elvis, who will dearly be missed. Justin Bieber tweeted that he's retiring from music. I didn't know that he ever started doing music, but to hear that he's retiring from it, I'll drink to that. Oh, but then again, you know, I'll pretty much drink to anything. Hello. Okay, I have to say one of the biggest highlights of 2013, for me anyways, was to get a phone call on a Tuesday. It was from the producers of the television show The Talk, and they asked me if I would like to voice my opinion on that following Thursday, 2 days later, on their show. And I was like, hello, of course. I love that show. I've watched it every day since it first started. So that Thursday morning, they called me up. We had the cameras here in my studio. They had their cameras in California, and we were all linked up and hooked up. And the subject matter was about haters and how to deal with haters. So I voiced my opinion, and here it is. This was me on The Talk.
On the topic.
No, I do not allow criticism to shut me down. I've been a club kid for over 30 years. Hello, look at me. I've had many, many haters over the years, but I take that hate that they give me and I combine it with the love that I receive, and that's what makes me strong. After the show, the producers called me again and said that they would love to have me back on the show, so expect to see more Zander Mander on The Talk. I'll let you all know when it's out, okay? Just follow me on Twitter or on Facebook. You know where I'm at. Hello? Let me show you something that I got for Christmas this year, or last year. Do you see this mug? It says QOFE. Do you know what that stands for? Think about it for a second. Okay, I'll tell you. It stands for Queen of Fucking Everything. And they sent it to me. I love it. I don't know what they mean by that, but I love it. Mwah. Well, we've covered a little bit of 2013 and some of the highlights and all that, and I hope that you all had a great year as well. But it's time to say goodbye to 2013. So, I love you. Bye. And now, let's give a big warm welcome to 2014 by saying hello. 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 Here's some things to look forward to in 2014. August is going to be the party month of the year. Do you know why? There are 5 Fridays, 5 Saturdays, and 5 Sundays this year in August. It's going to be the longest month of the year, and it's going to be the funnest month of the year. Get ready, everybody. Don't drain yourself in June and July. Save it for August because you're going to need it. Recommend a good makeup remover. Well, honey, as everyone knows, I don't wear makeup. I just throw on a little mascara. But to get that off, I do have 2 things I recommend. Baby oil leaves the skin so nice and soft. Or try this, shaving cream. It works really well and again will leave your skin nice and soft. How can you tell if you've had a really good Saturday night? Well, the first way is to go home and lay in your bed all tingly and just feeling warm and comfortable and you knew you had a great night. Another way is to come home, rip off your panties and throw them against the wall, and if they stick to the wall, you know you had a really great night. I need a drink after that one. Oopsies. Oh my gosh, I was out to lunch the other day and I sat next to these 2 women. You should have heard what I heard this conversation. They were talking about the work that they were having done. And the one lady says, well, I don't know. I think I'm going to get a boob job. And the other one said, well, I'm thinking about getting my asshole bleached. And the other one goes, honey, I don't think your husband would look good as a blonde. Don't you just love that one? You knew stupid jokes were coming your way, didn't you? Did you know that in Hornytown, North Carolina, they don't allow any massage parlors? You'd think there'd be more of them there than anywhere else. Here's something even I didn't know. Here in my city of Chicago, it's illegal to go fishing in your pajamas. I wonder if it's okay to do it naked. Catch a merman, maybe? I have a very serious question for you all out there now. Do you think that 5 or 6 women that are really good friends and are on the same menstrual cycle should be considered gang members? I'm just kidding, ladies. You're right, I do have 2 kitties, and they're both boys. I love my boys, Ziegfeld and Berkeley. To answer your question, though, yes, they do this. Ziegfeld does this to Berkeley. Ziegfeld's the older one, and he does this to Berkeley. But he's not humping him. He is showing who's dominant. When he's biting on the back of the neck, he's not hurting him, and he's not humping him because they've both been fixed. They can't do anything anyways. But he's just showing he's the dominant cat. Here even is actually a book that I recommend for you. It's called 277 Secrets That Your Cat Wants You to Know. Believe me, this book has been a great help in raising little pussies. I mean felines. Check it out. It's got a lot of questions and a lot of info in there that might help you out there. Hey everybody, look who's back. It's my dear Rosemary with her first question of the year.
Hi Z, here's my question. What changes would you like to see happen this year that you had hoped would have happened last year but didn't? That's it.
Well, Rosemary, you are looking as fabulous as always. To answer your question, there's a lot of things I would have liked to have happened last year that didn't. But there's one in particular, and that is to see more gun control. I don't know how things are in your neck of the woods, but here in Chicago, on the news daily, you hear about more shootings and more shootings and more shootings, and most of them involve children. And it's really getting to be disturbing. I would just like to see more or some better kind of gun control. Getting guns off the streets that don't belong to people, getting guns out of the hands of gang members. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Stop the bloodshed. It's got to stop. It's just too much. Well, we've said goodbye to 2013. We've said hello to 2014. I've answered some of your questions. We've had fun with the stupid little jokes. I hope you have. Had fun with the stupid trivia. I hope you have. But I have, since the last episode, we've tons and tons of questions regarding the release of Club Kid legend Michael Alig.
name.
Oh, Elke. Okay. Well, thank you for that privilege. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So you
Yes,
two.
we have a very special guest on the line right now.
Yes, I have a very special. I have two very special guests on the line. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
I've got Michael Alig's mother, and I have half of the Fabulous Wonder Twin Lewis on the phone.
Hey.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey.
Thank you both so much for joining me.
Anytime,
You're
my
welcome.
pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
As you know, I get asked a lot of questions. And in the past few months, I have received hundreds and hundreds of questions, and they're all regarding your son. And I thought
I don't have the answers.
Especially now that the computer broke. Just clean the house, guys.
No computer.
You're so sweet. You bet you have the cleanest house in town, don't you?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And
That's
she's
right.
cooking, too.
Oh, what have you
Well,
been...
what's your question? I will try to answer the best I can.
Okay. Now, first, I've already stated in the opener of this show that this is in no disrespect to you, no disrespect to Michael. This is not a bashing session at all. It's just questions that the club kids out there, old and new, have been asking, and they keep coming to me, probably because I'm the oldest club kid in existence. I don't know. But
He's admitting that, Louis. He's the oldest.
I know. Legendary.
well, I've been 29 for 22 years. What does that tell you?
Okay.
I'm 16.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm 10.
I'm babysitting.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I'm 69.
I'll bet
I
that's
just
your...
turned 70.
Oh.
Okay, what's your question, sweetheart?
Well, one of the first question is we know that Michael is up again for a parole hearing in July, and
Right.
I know that you're hoping that he's released.
And he
Upon
will
his
be.
Yeah, he will be. Well, the first thing that Michael will do, he's going to have to re-enter society and get out of the mindset of prison life, which is going to be quite difficult, I believe.
extremely difficult.
You know, for all these years, he's been told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and freedom is going to be difficult to realize at first. But what I want Michael to do is find something to do that he truly, truly loves, because that's when he does his best work. I don't know what that will be, but I'm sure there are going to be offers.
Speaking of offers, there are rumors flying all over the internet that they want him for a reality show. Do you think that's a good idea for him?
Gosh, I don't know. Michael, you know, I don't think anybody knows this, but Michael is actually very shy. I don't know how. I haven't heard about it, so you're telling me something new.
Okay. Does Michael is he aware of what reality shows are right now? Because I know he doesn't have any access to computers or anything like that.
No, but he's got a little telly, a little 19-inch black and white telly
Oh, okay.
film that you can watch.
But I'll tell you what's going to happen when Michael gets out. He's coming home. He's going to stay home, and she's going to go out to the clubs.
I don't think so. Louis, I don't think so. Everybody's going to say, well, Michael's going to have a huge party. I don't think so.
No, I was saying he's going to stay home, and then you're going to go out.
I'm going to go to the clubs, and he's going to hunt me down. I don't know if Michael would do it. I have no idea. Actually, this is the first time I heard about it.
Well, you haven't had a computer in a while, and
Right.
it's been all over the internet. You know, Louis, you know about this, don't you?
Yeah.
Exploiting. Well, I think Michael has been exploited enough, don't you think?
I do. That's why I would be afraid of it.
But that's up to him. We have to understand that Michael is not the little kid from New York anymore. He's in his middle 40s, and he's mature. He's grown man, and he's going to have to make these decisions himself. I have really not much to say about it. I can only guide him, but if he wants to take my advice, it'll be up to him.
Okay. It sounds like you're a very loving mother. You told me that you talk to him twice a week. Have you talked to him twice a week all this time?
Yeah.
And he's doing good?
He's as well as can be expected,
Right.
There he is, but I think he is at peace with his soul, and he knows that good things are waiting for him when he gets out, and he knows it's going to be in the near future. And I admire Michael for having been so strong-minded, because it takes a very special person to not be affected by all these years, 16 years now. They try to break his spirit, but they haven't. He's still Michael. Still Michael.
You mean
no matter how hard they tried.
You mean the prison has tried to break his spirit?
No, they haven't been able to do that. He's still the Michael that you knew.
Okay.
But in a more mature way. Everybody that visits him always says, gosh, we didn't want to leave him. He's such an interesting person and so intelligent, and we admire him so much. What a waste it has been for this human being to be incarcerated this long. He has got so much to give to society. Yeah, Michael is writing a book which will be, which should come out after he's released. It's called Aligula.
Caligula, of course.
I love that, Aligula. Would you believe it?
Yeah.
So you are hoping for a real bright future for him, aren't you?
I hope for the best for Michael. I've been there from the beginning, and that's my job. I'm mom. What else? I mean, I love him. He's the apple of my eye.
What do you think of that?
What was the last part you said? Anti-hero?
They are propping him up as an ultra-glamorous anti-hero.
What's an anti-hero?
Michael will always be an icon for, like, the club scene.
Oh, an icon. I thought he said anti.
Yeah,
icon.
Yeah, but like I was saying, Michael will always be seen as one of the main icons from the club scene of the, mid-90s in New York. So...
Yeah, I have that feeling. I mean,
so the party
my beautician the other day, I had my hair done, and she said, are you really Michael Alig's mom? I said, yes. And she said, oh, my God, I can't believe it. I've been watching him since I was 4 years old. and everybody wanted to know about Michael at the beauty shop. It's amazing how his supporters have stood by him, and even newcomers that know Michael now. It's amazing. But the Party Monster movie was absolutely junk.
Oh, yeah, totally. I agree with you.
Michael has never seen it.
Oh, he hasn't?
He's never seen the movie?
Oh.
So you don't agree with anything in the movie?
It really made him look terrible in that movie, and I'm sorry, but Macaulay Culkin did not do him any justice.
Glad to have your opinion on that.
Okay, let him have it.
Okay, here goes. The scene where Macaulay Culkin says, yeah, and we used up all your money and all your drugs, and we want some more. It was like he was reading that off a piece of paper. There is absolutely no acting.
Okay.
And the way they portrayed Michael, like a jerk.
You have heard it from the mother's mouth here, everybody.
There you go. Exactly.
A lot of people think they know him because of the movie or the book.
Isn't
And
that sick? That's just sick. Again, Michael is nothing like Party Monster. Nothing like him.
no,
I hated that name. When I was told what the name of the movie was, I was very upset. And I asked the producer and the director, please do not name this movie Party Monster. Because Michael is not a monster. And it was too late. They said they already purchased the name, and that's what it was.
What name would you have titled the movie if you had, they say?
It's hard to say because of what happened then. Had this not happened with Angel, Michael would have just been a club kid icon. But then this thing happened with Angel, and I don't know. That's a very tough question.
that is
You
a tough.
you could always say, and who is the real Michael? And it was so painful. It was just so painful. I remember the night that Kyoki called me. December 5th, 1996. I never forget that phone call.
What was the phone call about? What did he say?
Well, that was the day, that was the night that they picked Michael up in that little motel. What was it? Was it in New Jersey?
New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah. Forgot the name of the town. And he just, he told me, he says, well, Mom, that's it. They took him away. It was so painful. And then the phone calls that I got from Rikers Island with him crying and everything that he had to go through in that place. The place should be investigated of everything that goes on in there, the corruption.
Those must have been very hard for you. That must have been just the worst days of your life.
I can't even explain to you. If you can imagine your heart being ripped, not cut, but ripped in pieces. When you have your child on the phone and he's crying to you and telling you all the bad things that have happened to him at Rikers, and there was nothing I could do. Nothing.
Is there something that you would like to say to the people that have hated him and had all these negative, bad things to say about him because of the charge that he was convicted for?
Well, what can I say? Haters are always going to be there.
I agree.
There's nothing we can do about it.
I agree.
He committed a crime, but he's paying for it.
Okay.
And everybody deserves a second chance.
You're right there. That's true. Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, I know what you're asking me. Yes, I thought about it, but yet again, the only thing on my mind was Michael, and he is my son. And I will be there for him no matter what, and I will love him no matter what. He is my blood, and that's all I could think of.
The club scene is fueled with drinking and drugs. Are either of you afraid of Michael falling back into that when he gets back out?
Oh my
That's
God,
a very good question.
That's a good question,
very
but I
serious
cannot answer you
question.
that question. I mean, that's only in his head, in his mind, so I wouldn't be able to answer you that question. I mean, it depends on who's he's going to be hanging out with, you know?
Well, actually, I have asked him the same question.
Okay.
And he said that he would never go that route again. He's had a taste of what happens when you do.
Yeah.
And I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so. I mean, Michael, Michael is still Michael, but in a mature way, and he understands the what do you call it? What will happen.
Right.
He does,
Yeah,
you know.
consequences.
Right.
It's like an alcoholic. One drink will lead to another and another and another, and I don't think he's going to do that.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope not.
No.
Because there is a club world out there without drugs. I'm one of them. I don't do drugs. So there is a world out there without it. So let's hope he chooses
I know
that world.
I know that. I remember some of the club kids that used to tell me, you know, how wonderful it felt that they all of a sudden had a place to go and didn't have to pretend of who they were, and they could be themselves, and they had fun. And this was before all the drugs came into the picture, you know, because at first Michael was very anti-drug. He and Kiyoki used to make fun of everybody that was taking drugs.
Really?
Oh, yeah, Michael was totally anti-drug.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the club kids out there that are coming up? And
Yes. It's I find it amazing, and I'm so thankful that the supporters have stood by him through all these years, and even the newcomers. I know that Michael is grateful for all the mail he's getting, and knowing that these fans and his friends are still by his side. And I want to say thank you so much. Don't stop loving him, because he deserves it and he needs to be loved.
that's very sweet of you to say. Now,
Yeah, it's all about love, everybody. It's all about love.
What about love? Can I hear love?
love.
Love!
Yeah, drop the attitude and give me some love.
Yes.
Is wow. Well, I want to say that we're coming to the end here. So I want to say thank you to both of you so much for talking with me and to letting everybody hear your opinion on this. My purpose of this show was to, one, answer all the questions that everybody's been sending in, and two, to give them an accurate, I hope, description of what, he's really about. So many people think that he is Macaulay Culkin in Party Monster and don't know the real Michael. And I thank you tonight as his mother, and you, Fab Wonder Twin Lewis, as his friend, to giving us the insight as to who he really is and what we hope he will be upon his release.
And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak from my heart and tell you and the listeners what Michael is really all about. Don't believe everything you see and hear. Don't believe that movie was true. Michael is nothing like that. You got to know him to love him.
Well,
Take the time to get to know him. Write him.
And don't forget, somebody send her a computer now.
Yeah, somebody send me a computer now, like yesterday. Mommy needs a computer. My little fingers are nervous.
The house is looking too clean.
Yeah, the house is too clean.
well,
Too
if you
much cooking going on.
Yeah.
if you need another house to
too.
clean, you can come over here. Don't worry about it.
No, thank you. No, 9-9. Dankeschön.
Well, I want to thank very much Fab Wonder Twin Lewis for being with us, and I really want to thank Michael's mother, Elke Alig, for being with us. They both gave us a true insight to what the real Michael was, and as you've heard her say, don't pay attention to that movie Party Monster. That's his mother speaking. You listen to her now. I want to thank you both. Would you like to say any last words to everybody before we go?
I'll see you guys on the dance floor.
I'll see you guys on the dance floor. Here's to Michael, and here's to all of us, and a happy future.
Fabulous. You two take care, and thank you so much. Bye-bye. For those of you that don't know, I have a whole new act put together for a 2014 tour, a tour that is being called Inspirations. Here's a little teaser.
If they saw my face, could I still take her bow? Will they know me, know me, know me now?
I want to thank you all for joining me for this season opener, staying with me all this time. I hope to see you on the next episode. I've got some great episodes coming up for you, more special guests questions. I have interviews with Chanel, Mike Ruiz. I have a very, very powerful episode with Tammy Brown. This is an episode you are not going to want to miss. It's in production right now, and it will be out soon, so you stick around for that. Until then, you all do me a favor. You have fun, and you get home safe. I'll see you next time. Good night, everybody. Remember at the beginning of the show, I talked about some of the best things of 2013, and I mentioned the best single, or my favorite single of the year, being Queen by XL. Well, XL has another single out. It's called Red Flag, and as a matter of fact, it's a campaign. Here's a little more info about that.
Ain't gonna stop until I get there. Ain't gonna rest until I get there. Ain't gonna stop, ain't gonna stop, ain't gonna stop. I have a dream, Ain't gonna rest till I get respect. Can't let history repeat itself. Ain't gonna stop, ain't gonna stop, ain't gonna stop. I have a dream, People shutting people out, I see a red flag. People taking people's rights, I see a red flag. See a red flag, see a red flag. Gotta stand up for my brothers and my sisters. When they take away your freedom, it's a red flag. When they take what makes you human, it's a red flag. It's a red flag, it's a red flag. Gotta stand up for my brothers and my sisters. It's a red flag, it's a red flag. Gotta stand up for my brothers and my sisters. This is about you, this is about me. This is about us all, not one community. You know authority on what is right or wrong. When you make somebody weaker, it doesn't make you strong. What if someone tried to take away your rights? Told you who you can love, who you can marry, how to live your life. Freedom shouldn't come with a price tag. Time to raise your voice, raise your head, raise a red